Present on!
A local law enforcement officer killed in the line of duty is laid to rest.
Deputy William Collins Jr. served with both the Webster Parish Sheriff's Office and the Doyline Police Department. His
funeral was held today at First Baptist Bossier, and that's where we find NBC6's Darren Todd. He joins us now live with our top story tonight. Darren?
Hey, good evening, Dan and Jackie. I was actually inside of the sanctuary during the funeral services, and let me just say it was a beautiful memorial service in celebration of life. Hundreds of law enforcement officers from around the parish, the state, and country came out to come together to celebrate the life of Deputy Collins.
Fellows, I love you. We'll miss you, but I will see you again one day.
Last Friday, the worst fear of any law enforcement officer became a reality in the town of Doyline.
Call came over to the Webster Parish Sheriff Radio. Shots fired, shots fired. Something none of us that wear these badges want to hear.
Deputy William Earl Collins Jr., better known as Billy, was shot and killed in the line of duty. Hundreds of law enforcement officers gathered inside of First Baptist Bossier, showing respect for Collins and celebrating his life.
Some tears will be shed, but the family wants everybody to know that this is a celebration of Billy's life.
Amongst the many in the crowd stood one of the ones he loved the most.
I know many of you here knew my father and saw the side of him that was serious and work-driven. However, I wish for you to know that despite this serious behavior, he was a man of love and compassion.
Those who spoke, sharing who Collins was as a father, a deputy, and a son.
He was a man of professionalism, of action, a man who loved his job, his community.
We weren't on a first-name basis. I called him Knucklehead, or Mama's boy. He called me, when he worked, he called me boss. When he wasn't at work, he called me daddy.
Sheriff Parker says without hesitation, Collins was ready to serve his community.
He honored his badge and his oath, and he selflessly performed his duty and made the ultimate sacrifice to prevent another one from taking his life.
The Collins family sang a final goodbye to their Billy.
And to my dad, thank you for being my dad, my friend, and most of all, my protector. I love you, Dad.
Now, Dan and Jackie, you heard Chief Hayden jokingly calling Deputy Collins a mama's boy, and it's no secret that he cared about his family. He loved his family dearly, his wife, his 2 children, and his mother. In fact, he actually lived across the street from his mother, Paula. Reporting live here in Bossier City, I'm Darren Todd with NBC6 News.
It was a beautiful and respectful service today. Darren, thank you very much for that look. Well, following that funeral, hundreds gathered at the Hillcrest Memorial Park in Houghton. Deputy Collins arriving in a horse-drawn carriage with the procession of law enforcement from across the Arklatex.
Friends and loved ones held a ceremony before the burial, saying prayers and celebrating the life of Billy Collins. We spoke with Doyline Police Chief Robert Hayden about the support and love they've received during this difficult time.
To know that we can all pull together and this love will be here, you know, for us. And we don't need to have a tragedy like this for us to love each other. We are to be loving each other like this all the time.
Chief Hayden tells NBC6 he hopes to make a scholarship in honor of Collins. The graveside service concluded with a flyover of 3 helicopters.